Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone is good. Oh, knocking the mic. It's been a while since we've done a live stream. Hope everyone is great. Hope everyone is good. I'm not seeing anyone in the chat. It's been so long that we've not got anyone in the chat yet. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is good. Welcome to the Sam Mobile Roundup Show. Yes, we've kind of changed things around, so we'll use this as a chance to pretty much do a public service announcement for you as our audience as well. Hopefully, you all can hear me and the audio is coming through nice and clear. But yes, things have changed around. Things have changed around. As you know, that we usually do the weekly live shows every Friday, but we've changed things around. So I think I will use this as an opportunity to do a public service announcement since it is the first day of the month. Yes, I know it's April Fool's, but we're not going to be doing any April Fool's jokes here. Everything that we're announcing is literally legit as it comes. And yeah, it's basically, we've changed things around. and we are now in the second quarter of 2022. Wow, the first 3 months have gone crazy, 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 crazy quick, right? So we're already in the second quarter, the fourth month of the year. We started afresh, and we kind of just wanted to switch things up and just add a bit more flavor to the content that we're producing as well. So live shows are going to be left to special occasions and also special product launches. So, for example, today we are going to be doing a live demonstration with the Tab S8 Ultra. Our review went live yesterday, um, and we're gonna go live with it. So occasions like this where we've got new devices, new occasions, new product launches, we'll do a dedicated live stream where we set up and we're able to really just share and communicate with you guys how these products are working live and give you guys an opportunity to pretty much just ask your questions and see demonstrations live as much as what we can show. Now, what we do have will be a weekly podcast show. Yes, the Sam Mobile podcast show is coming, and we're going to be doing that weekly. We are going to be doing that weekly. The first one's recorded, and we are in the process of editing it, or I'm in the process of editing it, and it's going to be available in video form as well as on all your favorite podcast platforms, which should be a lot of fun. So the weekly roundup live show has been replaced with the Sam Mobile podcast, and that will give us more reach. Again, you're going to be able to see it in video form on the Sam Mobile TV YouTube channel that you're here right now, as well as on your favorite podcast platforms, and listen to it wherever you go, so you can, pretty much catch up with the hottest news in the world of Samsung Weekly. Of course, brought to you by SamMobile.com and SamMobile TV. So that's kind of been the changes. So hopefully you'll get to see it. It's a shame there's not many people on it. We've got 6 concurrent viewers. I think it's dropped off since the live stream was cut from MWC, but it's all good. It's all good. We're going to do a live demonstration of the Tab S8 Ultra, and hopefully you guys get to see it. We get to go through our opinions and thoughts, and share what we feel about it next to the review that we did on it as well. And we should have the written article review of the base Tab S8 coming up very, very soon, and that should be from our resident Ambijit. If there's anyone in the chat, please do let us know, and let us know how the audio sounds as well. How the audio sounds. But yeah, this should be an exciting one. Let's see who we have in the chat. We've got Mr. Bailey, Portland, Jamaica, in the building, as always. As always, you never cease to fail me, man. Sometimes I think you're a bot, but you know what? I appreciate your consistency across the board, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for dropping the chat in there. Do share it out. Let people know. Let people know that the live stream is on. Let people know that the live stream is on, and we will be doing a live demonstration of the Tab S8 Ultra, and we will, of course, do a roundup of things and how things have been going throughout the week in our content as well, and just remind people how things have changed in terms of what to expect for the live show, as well as the new podcast, the Sam Mobile podcast. Cannot wait for you guys to, get into grips with that. Oakley doke. Camera one and chat. Let's see. How do you like the new setup? I've kind of changed things around. I've got more space. It feels more open. Let me know what you think of the new setup. Let me know what you think of the new setup. Hopefully the audio comes through nice and clear. Whew. Should be good. Should be good. Let's see. I'm very real. I have to make sure, man. I have to make sure. I have to make sure. I have to make sure. I think we're all sounding good on the audio front. Hopefully, it's coming through nice and clear. Um, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, it should be coming through nice and clear. It might be a tad bit quiet, but that's because I've got it slightly away and got to give myself a bit of room. Incly doke. Javid, yes, we've got Javid. We've got Louise. Hi, nice video. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you all joining. Um, yes, we are streaming this in crispy 4K UHD. So if you've got the device and the bandwidth, definitely make sure you turn it up past 1080p, go to 1440p, order up to 2160p for the best visual and audio experience as well. We'll give you a high audio experience as well. Your videos, and it says we've got Jerry Charlie. Hello. It says your videos are awesome, buddy. Especially the black background. It's so clever. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. The 4K super crispy. Yes, we are in the highest quality as possible to give you the best visual experience. Please do give us feedback in the comment section below. Just to let us know if the audio sounds good. The levels seem fine to me, but I always want to make sure that the audio is coming through to you all nice, crispy, and clear. But yeah, we will be doing a live demonstration today of the Tab S8 Ultra. Ooh, this behemoth of a tablet. Look at it. Giant. Absolute giant. Oh, don't worry, I've got cloth before you all get onto me about, oh, the smudges, the smudges. And that's another problem that we're going to discuss. This S Pen that's flying away and doing his own thing. God, let's get it here. Do, 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 do. So we will be discussing and showing live demonstration of the Tab S8 Ultra, which should be very, very, very interesting indeed. And as you can see with the S Pen, it is glorious and really, really nice to use. And it's something that can complement the S22 Ultra really well, just based on the fact that you can pop your S Pen out of the S22 Ultra, use it on the Tab S8, and vice versa. You can use the Tab S8 S Pen right here as well. So this is what's great about the synergy of the hardware ecosystem. But we'll do a live demonstration more on that later. You press it, comes up, press it, comes up. Really, really nice to use. Okay. Right, we've got here and camera one and chat. There we go. And let's see who's up and who's in there. I played wide receiver and back in school football um, as well. You nice. Sound is great. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad the sound is great. So again, feel free to ask all your questions as well. But we thought let's do a live demonstration and pretty much um, yeah discuss what we need to discuss in terms of what's been happening in the week of Samsung for SamMobile.com, and also yeah, let me bring up the topics as well. Should be interesting. Got Mr. President himself. Talk about now. We'll save that. We'll save that for the podcast. We'll save that for the podcast. Save that for the podcast. So you see that. All right. So who else? I'm so bored with Apple's iOS. There's no innovation. Going back to Samsung. Hey, One UI. We've got all the latest videos on One UI. So yeah, One UI is pretty stacked. One UI is pretty stacked, and it's something that we're gonna do a demonstration on, and hopefully that will be of benefit to you all. So yeah, who do we have? We've got 14 concurrent viewers, which is great to see. We'll do another quick announcement, and as discussed, pretty much said that things are changing in terms of content, and that's not in a bad way. That's in a good way. Things are changing in terms of content. Um, as you know before, this was the weekly roundup live show, and the live show is not gone as such. The live show is being dedicated to special occasions. When we say special occasions, product launches. So we're going to do this live show as you see that we're doing, where let's just say the launch of a new phone, a new tablet, a new laptop from Samsung. We've got those review units in. We've got them unboxed, set up, and ready. We will do a special live stream dedicated to that. Unless you do want the weekly live show to come back, let us know. But we will be doing a dedicated live show for when we get these special review units coming during product launch season, i.e., S22 series launch or S series launch, Fold launch, tablet launch, A series launch. Those key product launches, we will do dedicated live demonstration live streams of whether unboxing it live, setting it up live, demonstrating some of the features that we can show to you live. We will be doing that. But what has been replaced and what is coming into fruition is the Sam Mobile podcast. Yes, we'll be doing a weekly podcast show. We're going to aim to do 4 podcasts. Hopefully, it won't just be me. Hopefully, we can get some of the writers or, people in the tech industry to come in and chime in as well. But the Sam Mobile podcast is coming into fruition straight away as of the beginning of April. We've got the first one recorded, and it's going to follow a very similar principle to what we did with the live shows, where we will pretty much target and talk about the hottest news in the world of Samsung that happened that week, brought to you from sammobile.com, share our thoughts and opinions on it. Hopefully, once we have guests on there from the writers or industry guests in the tech scene and the mobile industry coming in to give their opinions as well, we can have a healthy discussion. And hopefully what I'm going to try and aim to do is bring more people in person rather than virtually. Hopefully get people in person so we can actually share our thoughts and opinions on that. But we'll see how that goes and we'll see how that develops. But the weekly Sam Mobile podcast is in fruition. The first one's recorded. I'm in the process of editing it. You'll see it in video form on our YouTube channel on Sam Mobile TV, as well as listening to it audio-wise on your favorite podcast platforms across the board. So watch out for it. First one is coming next week. Should be good, should be exciting, and I'm really, really happy to announce that. But yes, that's pretty much the breakup in content. So hopefully that is good, and then we can pretty much crack in and crack on. Let's see what we're saying here. Samsung is raising the bar in the tech this year. Yeah, they are. They are. Did you get the April security update for S22 Ultra? Yes, I did. Yes, I absolutely did. Yes, I absolutely did, which is very, very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. I can actually go to software updates and you can see if I do my top down, you can see, here we go here. My S22 Ultra got it yesterday. I got the April security update yesterday before the 1st of April. And this just further shows just how on point Samsung are when it comes to software updates, man. So yeah, you can see it right there. S22 Ultra has the April 1st security update. Wow, they are on a roll. Samsung are on a roll when it comes to software updates, man. Um, let's do a check on the Tab S8 Ultra and see if that pops up as well. So last checked on the 30th. Let's see. Okay, we're still on the 1st of February 2022, which is fine. It's no problem. But with the S22 Ultra, I do have it, which is very, very good to see. Cool. What do we have? What do we have? So, but okay, let's go through the content recap for this week on sammobile.com, and then we can pretty much break down. So, content wise, we've pretty much been active and proactive as per usual, and we've had a great month in general. So, we really appreciate your support. We really appreciate just watching our content and just giving us all the support throughout. And but yeah, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and obviously we're on our 10th piece of content, which is the live stream today. And March was really, really good. We were at MWC. Actually, no, so sorry, 10 pieces of videos. So the first one was on the Book 2 Pro series, and that was really, really good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos, as well as the 11 piece of content, which is the live stream. But again, it's a fresh month. We start a fresh week, and we really, really appreciate the support there. And yeah, it's been good. This week we talked about the best features to look for on the Galaxy A53 series, and we finally, since the 9th of March, when we did the unboxing on the Tab S8 Ultra, we purchased it when we were in MWC because we hadn't received our review unit yet, and yeah, got time to get to grips with it as well. Unboxed it. We did an update on the March update for One UI 4.1. And then we did the charging test video on what do you call it, the 45-watt charger with the EP-T4510. This was a follow-up to this charging test here where we're using an older charger. People were calling us out for it. We did the March update for the launch, and we realized that there was no difference in the new EP-4510 charger from Samsung, as we told you that was going to be the case. We did our hands-on video with the A53 versus the A33, the A33, which are basically the same phones, which is not a bad thing, at all. The A53 actually officially came out today. It officially came out today, yeah. We are still expecting the A33 to come out on the 22nd of April, but the A53 is out today. Did our hands-on with it, great response, and it's good to see A series. It looks great. I'm still waiting for my review unit here for video in the UK, but we do have our written review up live on SamMobile.com. We did a charging test video on the Tab S8 Ultra, which we're going to be discussing about as well. Very, very impressed compared to what we saw on the S22 Ultra. Very impressed with the charging speeds on the Tab S8 Ultra. What's great is that One UI 4.1 is also available on... Oh, there we go. It's also available on the... It's also available on here, the Fold 3. So we've got the Fold 3 back in. So I managed to do One UI 4.1 on the Fold 3, which is great to see. And yeah, best features on the A53 to watch out for, which we discussed, and there's a written article to go with it. And finally, the Tab S8 Ultra review. Our experience review on there, or my experience review on there. And yeah, we pretty much discussed all our findings with it, and we're pretty much going to do a live demonstration here and talk about it on the live show. So that's pretty much been the week, well, the month with SamMobile. So another great month. Really, really appreciate the support. Lots of new subscribers that have come through, which we really, really love to see. Thank you for joining SamMobile. You're going to be seeing more content again, special live streams for product launches, weekly podcasts with the SamMobile podcast show, and weekly high quality videos, all related to all things in the world of Samsung, daily and weekly, brought to you by SamMobile.com and SamMobile TV. All right, let's come back. Let's see what the chat is saying. I'm torn between the Fold 3 or the S22 Ultra. I'm a foldable person. I prefer foldables personally, so I will be biased and say the Fold 3. But that's just because I'm biased. You know, I'm a foldable type of guy. That's me personally. Um, and software updates install. Let's see if there's that. So it's on March security update. If we go here, status, software information. As you can see, we've got One UI 4.1 on the Fold 3. I would say Fold 3, but that's just me because I'm a foldable person personally, but that's just me. But you can't go wrong with either. You cannot go wrong with either. You cannot go wrong with either. You can't go wrong with either. Please, please, please do let me know if the sound and the audio is good. There's no delay. Everything looks good on my side, but I want to make sure that you're getting a great audio experience. So this is the Tab S8 Ultra. Yes. Now, we talked about it in our review, and we're pretty much going to discuss it as well here as we are pretty much. Okay, here we go. You can see it better. Um, let's do the top down here. So Tab S8 Ultra. This is huge. This thing is huge, people. It's massive, massive, as I like to call it, right? Um, but this is interesting because what Samsung has done this time round with their product launch is that they've near enough mirrored their S series, right? Their S22 series, their S series in general. Especially with what they started with the S20 series, with having a normal S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra, and then obviously they mirrored it again with the S20, S21, S21 Plus, S21 Ultra, which I still think the S21 Ultra is my favorite Ultra phone so far, out of the Note 20 Ultra, S20 Ultra, S21 Ultra, and now the S22 Ultra. The S22 Ultra is just the Note 22 Ultra early, people, 6 months early. That's all. Let's take it as it is. But they've done the same with the Tab S8 Ultra, right? Tab S8 Ultra sits at the top, 14.6 inches. Then you've got the Tab S8 Plus. Both of them do have Super AMOLED technology. But then the base Tab S8 is using a TFT LCD display, and it's a smaller one. So they've mirrored it to what their smartphones have. And again, we did hands-on. We got hands-on with both tablets, all three tablets, and the response on the channel was great in terms of the viewership from the audience, more than actually on the smartphones, which is very telling. But we're very, very interested to see how it would be to use it day to day. And I mean, this is a great tablet. Of course it is, right? Let's look at the design. The overall design is great in that sense, right? Super, super thin, 5.5 millimeters, aluminium unibody design. You've got obviously the band antennas there, all metal unibody. It feels cold to the touch. Yes, it's anodized and you do get the fingerprints, but you got to make sure that you either keep it in a case or you get that baby wiped to keep it nice and clean. The design is sturdy. I don't know how rigid it is for how thin it is, but obviously with the metal unibody, it should hold up, really, really well. Dual speakers on each side with Dolby Atmos, and they sound amazing and they sound great. I'll try and see if we can play something to really help with that. And then you've got the power button and obviously the volume rocker, not two separate volume buttons. You've got this is the Wi-Fi only model that we have. So you've got the micro SD card tray, which is still available. You can add an extra 1 terabyte on there. You've got the attachment at the back here, and this is where it charges the S Pen, which is included. It only charges at the back. It can be placed at the top, but it doesn't charge at the top. It only charges at the back. And we'll talk about some of the shortcomings as well. Design and build quality. This is wow, top tier premium. This is so good. This is so good. This is amazing stuff. This is amazing stuff, right? I've got the book one. I've got the book one, and I'll reference it in size in a minute. I'll go grab it and reference it in size. But we'll start from the outside, and I'm thoroughly impressed with the build quality. Thoroughly impressed with the build quality. It's really, really good. Nothing to be disappointed about. Really, really top build quality here. That's probably one of the best parts of using this tablet and having this tablet, right? But you see, regardless of it, it's still, regardless of how well balanced the slim profile, this is a big and heavy tablet. This is not a tablet that you'll use handheld for long. Like when I'm holding it like this, in about 5, 10 seconds, it's already starting to feel too heavy. I want to put it down. It's not a tablet that you're going to be using handheld for a while. You need to bare minimum use this with the kickstand case. And unfortunately, when we bought it when we were in Barcelona, sadly, the official book cover kickstand case with the keyboard and trackpad was out of stock. And it's been that way for a while. Why? You want to do that because you've got the pogo pins at the bottom here. And these pogo pins, they allow the keyboard to be powered. You've got the slots there, the keyboard to be powered, and the trackpad to work to really get a proper, laptop replacement experience. But kudos to Samsung. The build quality is excellent. My only gripe with the build quality or the design in general is that there is no headphone port. Now, I might be out of touch. I can't remember what the Tab S7 had, whether it had a headphone port or not. On top of that, my last tablet that I used was the S3. And even then, I didn't really use it, right? The Tab S3 was not really a product that I really used in that sense. So just take that into account for whatever it is and take it as that, as for sure. Um, Again, I can see your comments, but we are obviously going through a live demonstration. Keep firing your questions, and I pretty much will get to you when that time comes. Live demonstration with the Tab S8 Ultra is what we've got going on today. Um, there is no headphone port, and I guess it's because obviously the really really slim profile in that sense. But I would have still loved to have seen a headphone port. I wish this was a Note device, right? Because I love the fact that this is an included accessory. This S Pen being an included accessory adds a certain level of value to this tablet that is so good. But I wish it was a Note device. I would have taken a slimmer S Pen, just like what you see here with the S Pen on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, to have the ability to slot it into the tablet and not lose it. This, unless you have the official kickstand case or a kickstand case that can hide the S Pen at the back while it's charging, right? This S Pen kicks off way too easily, and it's just an expensive replacement waiting to happen. When you're picking this up, the edges are very sharp as well. It starts to dig into your fingers. It's not something I mentioned in the review, but it starts to dig into your fingers a lot easier. So just consider that. Just consider that. Those are the things in terms of the design and the build that I wanted to kind of mention, and we discussed that in a review as well. Okay, let's see what the chat is saying. Said, when will the A73 be released? Not sure, honestly. Not sure. Not much news has been around the A73, sadly. So we'll see. Um, About to sell my iPhone, iPad Pro to get back to Samsung, getting the Fold 3 for sure. Hey man, Team Fold, if you can afford a foldable, man, especially the Fold 3, it's awesome. It's awesome. I love the Fold 3. I love the Fold 3. Again, Team Fold all the way. I'm lucky enough to be testing so many different phones, but if I wasn't testing so many different phones, the Fold will be the phone that I would be using, man. Love the Fold form factor. Oh, let's drink a little. What else? On the Tab S8, has Dex changed much? I've not really used Dex as much in the past, but Dex looks solid, and we will activate Dex for you guys to see how Dex looks like very, very shortly. So, all right, let's switch things up. Go to camera one, camera two. Let's zoom this out a little bit so you can see everything while I'm also demonstrating it as well. Hopefully, you get clarity. Right, let's wipe the screen down. It does smudge when you're touching it a lot, but it's all good. It's all good. Let's talk display. Like, let's talk the screen. The screen here is an interesting one. So, again, hopefully the sound is coming through nice and clear. This is what we have here. Now, using the screen indoors, I'm gonna uh, using the screen indoors. Let's turn down the brightness a little bit so you guys can see. Hopefully you get to see it easier. Let's see. All right. Whew. Okay, so This is the screen here, right? Now, using a screen indoors, the brightness is okay, but this isn't a super bright display like what you're gonna find on the S22 series, and it's something I stated in the review that it's not the newer generation dynamic AMOLED panel that just skyrockets. It's not an LTPO panel as well. It's not adaptive, but it is a great display, right? It gets plenty bright for indoor usage. It gets plenty bright for indoor usage. And if we go to adaptive brightness, obviously it can because it's we've got a light in here, but we're going to turn it down a bit so it's easier to see. We go to the motion smoothness. It's 120 hertz, but it is not adaptive. It's not LTPO. I think it's LTPS where it stays mostly at 120, probably drops to 60, but it doesn't go all the way down to 1 hertz or 10 hertz. It is using high refresh rate, which is great, which really complements the lower latency input of the S Pen as well, which is great. But if you want to save a bit more battery life, you can, but we'll talk about battery life later as well. I like Vivid. I like the Punchy with a slightly cooler tint, but that's just me personally. You can go in the advanced settings as well. Um, Full screen apps, this is something that you can obviously use, and you can hide the notch, which we're going to talk about. We will talk about this, but I did share my opinions on that. We've done a high edge panels. Obviously the edge panels is there, as you can see, with the app pairs, which we're going to talk about as well. The navigation bar, obviously we want that to be gesture based, which is good to see. So we're going to come back. Touch sensitivity, none of that needed. This display is a great display. It is. But you see, here's some of the qualms that I have with it. Here is some of the qualms that I have with it. Hold on, let me just see what this message is saying. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Boom. All right, we'll talk about that later. Sorry. Here's some of the qualms that I have. Firstly, the notch. This notch to me, I'm sorry, makes no sense. Here's why it makes no sense. This display canvas is 14.6 inches. 14.6 inches, right? 14.6 inches is big enough. I would have rather have had this display be 14.4 inches. It's still going to be more than slim enough in terms of the bezels. It's already big enough. Hide this notch. It's really down to the fact that you've put thin borders or bezels, as people like to call them, and you've put these two ultra wide cameras in there for it to come the way it's come. That to me just makes no sense to have on a tablet. There's more than enough screen real estate. Make it 14.4 inches. And as you can see, yes, you can do full screen and hide these apps that use it. Fine, of course you can, right? But my point is, by the time you're doing that, you might as well not have the notch there in the first place. I don't understand why they did that, in my personal opinion. And as small as it is, it's still intrusive enough, especially when you're watching full screen content, in my opinion. And I pretty much demonstrated that. Next is the in-display fingerprint sensor. I don't know, man. I like it. It behaves like what you find on the S21 FE, but I wish it was ultrasonic. I do wish it was ultrasonic, in my opinion. I wish it was ultrasonic. Next is the haptic feedback. Now, I know it's a tablet, right? But the haptics and the vibration motor in here, they're not good at all. They are not good at all. They are not good at all. Personally, like, just disable them. They're really rattly. They're not good quality. Nothing even close to what's emulated on the S22 Ultra and the S22 series in general. They have great haptics, but that doesn't translate to here. And I know maybe there's a space, but I always say this: I'd rather have a slightly smaller battery for a big, nice vibration haptic motor to be able to enjoy it, in my personal opinion. So it's a shame. And I mean, having good haptics would have been nice for something as big as this, especially when you're using an on-screen keyboard. You would love it to feel more close to a tactile feeling. I don't know. I don't know. That's just something that was surprising me. And the last one, the last one, the last one, the last one, the last one is no always on display. It's I don't know if I guess that's a normal thing, but not having an always on display, it just felt so weird after you're coming from having an always on display experience from their phones. It's Super AMOLED, of course. Maybe not having an always on display on a base Tab S8 is one thing because that's using a TFT LCD display, but on the S8 Plus and the S8 Ultra, yeah, it just felt weird. It felt weird and out of place. It felt weird and out of place. But away from that, I mean, this is a quality display. It is a quality display. Let's go to SamMobile, and then you're gonna be able to hear the speakers as well because the quad speakers are booming, booming, booming. It makes it much easier to. Personally, I couldn't ever use the volume at max. I just couldn't. I just could not. It was so loud. So let's listen. So about 75% in terms of volume. The same effort they put into their flagship phones. Their Tab S8 lineup is a perfect example of this, which now mirrors the S22 series having three models. Hopefully you can hear the speakers. Having what is basically a notch size display for a tablet, how has the Tab S8 Ultra held up? Hi, Ben from SamMobile. If you enjoy exclusive and new videos like this, then be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos on YouTube with SamMobile TV. Here is our full experience review of the Tab S8 Ultra. Great colors. We said it before in our early hands-on, and we'll say it again. This tablet is huge. Yeah. So as you can see, audio quality is top notch thanks to the quad speakers, two on each side. You do get Dolby Atmos support as well, which is right here. You can go right in, and you've got it automatic, or you can set it to what you're using. It's an excellent display and audio experience, but just odd few gripes with it that just very very weird decisions in that sense. But that's obviously the design and the display. These are our thoughts on it so far. Let's go into the chat and see what everyone is saying. Then we'll talk about the performance and software. Ooh, ooh. Got buckles hurting. All right, all right, all right, all right. No question, sir. Thank you for this choice. Now you are a very talented person. You choose Samsung, which is the best despite the king. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Sajid. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. Right, we are 44 minutes in. Let's go back. We are 44 minutes in. We've had a stable stream with no frame drops and no internet connection. But now I've said it, I've jinxed it. Ugh. Shouldn't have said it, Ben. Shouldn't have said it. You should just be running it as is. But we've been holding up, which is almost pot luck when you're streaming off your 4G, 5G LTE connection, since my home internet connection is not that great. My Vodafone 4G LTE connection is roughly around 60 megabits per second, so it seems to be behaving with this 4K stream, which I'm ever so grateful for. I always want to make sure that, especially with devices like this, we are streaming in the highest quality possible to give you the best viewing experience, especially when we're showing you stuff as well. So, we've pretty much talked about the design, the display experience, the audio experience, what we love and what are the shortcomings or the niggles, I would say. Not too much shortcomings. Hey, it's race weekend, Abu Dhabi. Is it Abu Dhabi? No, I don't think it is. It's Abu Dhabi would be like the last race of the season. Um, no, it's not race weekend. Is it race weekend? No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Next, I don't even know what the Formula One calendar is. Saudi. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Specs and performance. So we've got this one here, which is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It is slightly underclocked though. It is slightly underclocked. It is slightly underclocked. And if you see the Geekbench benchmarks, let me see if I've got Geekbench on my phone. I'm gonna start Geekbenching on my phone again. Geekbench is not fully indicative of performance day to day, but it just gives like a snapshot of what's happening. So our model is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. That's the screen resolution 2960 by 1880, 1848. We've got 8 gigabytes of RAM and we've got 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Ours is the Wi-Fi only. It's running Android 12. Oh, there comes an ad that pops up. Targeted ads. Oh. Um, what else? Yep, yep. So that's the performance. We're running a quick Geekbench on the where's Geekbench? Nope. Let's find Geekbench. Do we have Geekbench? Yes, we do. So we're gonna run the quick benchmark here, and you will see that yes, we do have the Exynos 2200 for this model of the S22 Ultra, and this is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, but this is a slightly underclocked version. It's a slightly underclocked version. Now, I've not really ran into any problems or any issues with it, and I've not how can I put it? I've not run into any issues with it, but because this is a slimmer profile, the cooling in there is not as efficient by the looks of it. So they have clocked it down, but it is still using the 8 Gen 1. How much of an 8 Gen 1 it is to be, questioned based on how much performance drop it is compared to what it can do based on the cooling and the thermals, but it is an 8 Gen 1 that's in there, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and obviously you can expand it with the micro SD card, which we love to see it, and we wish it was still on the flagship phones, but alas, it's not. The flagship phones do come with 1 terabyte of internal storage if you want to bleed £1,500 out of your pocket, which is madness to think about. Absolute madness to think about. Won 86% for the Geekbench 5 score on the S22 Ultra, and we'll compare the scores and we'll see what is up. Um, let's see what the chat is saying. So, hey man, thank you very much. Would you will you suggest the Ultra model with the with considering all the aspects? We'll come to the conclusion at the end. We're almost at the end, and I will give you my thoughts on it because this is something that we did discuss in our experience review as well that went live yesterday. So we posted that experience review that went live yesterday. So pretty much talked about that as well. I own the S21 Ultra. What do you recommend? Nothing. I recommend you keep the S21 Ultra. I think in a lot of ways the S21 Ultra is actually a more compelling package than the S22 Ultra, in my opinion. In my opinion. So love you all. Yes, Mr. Officials, fun and songs. Appreciate you coming through. Um, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? We're gonna go top down with camera two, and oh, let's turn this down a bit so it's not blinding. So almost at the end. This is the Geekbench score that we got with the S22 Ultra. You can see it right there. This is still a very performance. If we look at the cores, this is still very performant when it comes to the 8 Gen 1, which is obviously great. But performance wise, it's been excellent. Let's run and see some of the software benefits that you get with here, right? That I really, really love. Multitasking. This, when you press your app pairs, is something that just really, really comes into its own when it comes to using it. So if you come here, SamMobile. This is one thing I love about having a screen this big. Having a screen this big makes multitasking really that much more enjoyable. And it mimics what the Fold 3 really follows off, right? Because when you open it, you've got that tablet form factor and you can pretty much multitask with different apps. And this is something that you get here, and you can press, oh, change the sides, you can flip things around, you can flip it around again, flip it around, and it's so smooth in terms of animations, resize. You've got two big screens here. All right. One of my favorite things is obviously being able to swap these around, open it up, go here, go to all apps, as well as go to all apps. We can obviously find the if we go here, oh, so all apps, got notes, Samsung Notes. Open it up here, new one. I'm pretty much demonstrating how. Got the page template. We're going to give you a lined one. And you see how the palm rejection works really well. And the handwriting is really nice. My handwriting is poor, but this is how good it feels with the lower latency and, of course, the 120 hertz as well. Trying the handwriting. It feels so good on the Tab S8 Ultra. I barely handwrite because I'm always typing. This feels great. And what you can do is you make a mistake, you can press and hold on the S Pen button and then it erases. So that transforms into eraser. Rather than pressing it, you can just press it here and it transforms into eraser. This feels great to use. It's really nice actually. So if you enjoy, my handwriting is so poor, people. All right, so here's the situation. S Pen is great, multitasking is great, and we're gonna open up Dex and load up Dex, and we're gonna count how quickly it is to get into the Dex desktop experience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 seconds to get into Dex is really, really good. And this is where Dex mirrors kind of that Chromebook Windows like desktop experience, which is really good to see. You go here, you can see your actions. Here, you can see your dock, your quick menu. You can obviously increase the volume. Your notifications do pop up there if you have any. Hover over, you got multi-style, which is obviously good lock. And then you've got all your dock here. So if we open it up, you can resize. Open up YouTube. Open up Twitter. Open up Geekbench, of course. So this is where the power really starts to come in. You're seeing how many apps you can open. Open up Gallery, Snapchat, Settings. So you can see where the desktop experience really starts to shine, right? It really then starts to behave like an actual desktop where everything is all over the place. You see that? You can pin, and then you can pretty much open another. You can have genuine split screen. On Dex, you can minimize, 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 close, close, close. Very same principle, all docked. You can press here for your recents, and you can see all your recents here as well, which is great. Close all if you need to. Open up and see all your apps. You can come out of Dex if you want to. Dex is really good in that sense that you do get that feeling of a desktop experience where you can maximize it, as you can see. And then you can just close it, minimize. Here, especially with the there you go. So you've got notifications that pop up here, so you can see it. So when you press here, you can see your notifications pop up. You can change the settings. Dex is really good, but Dex makes more sense when you're using it with the keyboard and trackpad with the kickstand, guaranteed. So as you can see, software experience is really, really well thought out, and it's sadly Samsung making the best of a worse situation, making the best of a bad situation based on the fact that, unfortunately, Android apps are still not well optimized. If you look at Twitter, for example, the way Twitter is, this isn't scaled properly at all. This is this is not scaled well at all. It's usable in that sense, right? But this is not scaled well at all. This is literally the phone app blown up. So this is something that this is something that is, indicative and consistent across Android apps. Again, this is really down to the developers, but also it's down to the principle of the building blocks of how Android apps for tablets have just not really been catered to well from Google. Now, apparently things should get better and things should change come Android 12L, but it makes it's a tough it's a tough place to be. But Samsung are making the best of a bad situation, and they are making the Android tablet experience very, very cohesive. I would still, on a hardware level, love to see tablets this big have two USB-C ports. I would really love to get to a point where we can not just have one USB-C port, we can have two high-speed USB-C ports, and also just better app optimizations for these core apps from the Play Store. And it's just unfortunate that that's still not the case for Android. But One UI 4.1, as you've seen the live demonstration of it with app pairs and multitasking, with Good Luck and Dex, really, really picks up a lot of the slack. So you have to give credit to Samsung for that. But for a tablet this big, you do have to get the keyboard with the trackpad and the kickstand case, especially to enjoy Dex the way it needs to be enjoyed, or else it just doesn't make that much sense. Next is the camera. Now, we talked about the camera, right? Again, the camera is just going to be a very quick one. And with the camera, the quality is decent. The quality is not bad. Again, you just have to consider that the two ultra wides are good in that sense. You can see it really go ultra wide. You can really see it go ultra wide right here. You can see it right there. See it? No microphone, microphone, no microphone, microphone. Now, since the ultra wide at the back, which is limited to 1080p, that's because it's 6 megapixels. So you have to drop it to 1080p for video to see the ultra wide come up for video. Again, this is not the reason why you get a camera for the tablet, but it's good that the selfie cameras, both of them, have 4K video quality. That means when you're doing your conference calls or you're doing any form of video recording and it's propped up, you are getting 4K quality at 30 frames a second only, not 60, 30 frames a second only. And I think that's more than most tablets do, which is really, really excellent to see. The auto framing feature works decently, and that uses the ultra wide, as you can see it working. It kind of works really well. It's a hit and miss sometimes, but it works quite decent. And yeah, the auto framing features there as well, which is really good for conference calls when you want to group people in. Um, what else? What else? Yeah, that's pretty much the camera. Camera, quick, slick, and easy. When I go to the top down again, we'll come back into the comments. We're pretty much at the end. And then the battery life. Battery life has been really, really good. Now, we did talk about the saddest part is the fact that it supports 45-watt charging. If we go to more battery settings. So let's go to tablet battery information. The battery information right here is, as you can see, I don't know if I can zoom in enough. Yes, as you can see, it's 11,200 milliamp hour battery. It does support. It does support. It does support the super fast charging 2.0. It does support the super fast charging 2.0. If we go to device care, battery, more battery. Although it doesn't say it, the fast charging enabled, it does support the super fast charging 2.0. And you don't get the charger in the box, sadly. You don't. That trend has made its way over to tablets as well, sadly. You don't get the charger in the box. But this time round, compared to what we advised with the S22 series, where we say, look, just use the 25-watt charger, it's pretty much the same thing. When it comes to this, when we did our charging test video, this charged quicker than the 82 minutes quoted by Samsung, which is really, really good. And we used the wattage meter. We've got the wattage reader on the plug now. And it was using about 42 to 43 watts consistently for about 50 to 55 minutes of the charging cycle. So in about an hour and 15 minutes or so, it was charged to full and it was using most of the 45 watts. So it is worth investing in the 45-watt charger. The standby time is excellent. The standby time is excellent. Like, I just don't have to worry about it. Light usage, literally more than a week, it's not died. For light usage, the standby time is great. It's not died at all. Battery life for me personally, in my opinion, using it without the case and the keyboard and trackpad is not something you have to worry about. It's really, really well optimized. Great charging speeds. A shame it doesn't come with a charger in a box, but it is worth investing in the charger. And again, as we go to software information, it is Android 12, as you know, and it is with One UI 4.1. That pretty much kind of wraps it up. And like we said before, this is a very, 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 and we stick by it. This is a very super luxury device. It is super luxury, unapologetically super luxury, and you really, really have to want a tablet like this. And here is why. The base model of this is £1,000. You buy, to really get the best experience out of this, you have to get the book cover case with it, which is about £300-400, right? Guess how much the Book 2 Pro 360 is. That, mind you, yes, it does have a 60 hertz display, but it is AMOLED. It's a full Windows laptop. You get the full 360 hinge. You get the S Pen included. It's literally the same price. So you're in this place where, specifically with this Tab S8 Ultra, you have really got to want this type of Android computing experience. And buying the tablet alone, in my personal usage and opinion, is just not enough. You have to get the case, you have to get the keyboard, you have to get it with the trackpad. You have to. With this one in particular, it's just too heavy of a tablet to use handheld. You need something propped, and you need the keyboard and the trackpad to really get the best out of it. By then, to me, I would want a full proper Windows experience, and I would just be eager to just get the Book 2 Pro. That's the saddest part. And that's not because Samsung made a mistake. It's just the shortcomings of this Android experience, regardless of how good Dex is, regardless of how good One UI 4.1 is. It's just too short of a coming, you know? You get less ports, you get less connectivity as well. You only have one USB-C where you have more connectivity, more ports, a less limited operating system with less limitations when you're using your apps. I don't know. That's literally what my thoughts and opinions are. And this is where, sadly, you can make something so good that at times it crosses over into a territory that it shouldn't, and it starts to make less sense, even if it's a really, really good product, which it is. So this then begs the question of, This falls under super luxury. It falls under super luxury, and you have got to really want and value this type of tablet experience for computing to use it. Right. Let me have a little drink, and that's our live demonstration of the Tab S8 Ultra. Woo! Hopefully, you guys enjoy that. Just gone over the hour mark, as we like to keep it. And this is what these special live streams will be. When we've got live occasions, especially with product launches, we'll do live streams, but we will be doing the Sam Mobile podcast. So watch out for the Sam Mobile podcast. Planning it again. First episode is coming up on the channel, which I'm really excited to do. And also, it will be available on all your favorite podcasts and platforms as well. Leon's One UI is here, buddy. The Tab S8 Ultra is way too big. Sadly, it is. It feels that way when you're using it as a standalone tablet. It's great if you like your note taking. You are a graphic designer. This is really great. It works really great, but to get the best out of it, you have to get it with the kickstand and the keyboard and trackpad, the book cover case, which is expensive. By then, I just feel like the Book 2 Pro, unless you really want that Android tablet computing experience, it just feels too big. Thanks, Sam. Well, my name is Ben, by the way, but yeah, we are Sam Mobile. Thanks, Sam. Have a good have to go. Love the show. I love to do my own unboxing of the Fold 3 when I get it. Sure, awesome. Thanks for tuning in. And pretty much that's it. That is the live demonstration of the Tab S8 Ultra, and this is something that we wanted to get out of the way and do for you all as our audience. So hopefully you appreciate it. Watch out for special occasion live streams like this, as we love to do. I missed the live streams. I wish we were doing that. But the podcast is in fruition. We will be doing a podcast. Hopefully, you'll be seeing me as your host for the podcast, as well as the guests and the writers that do a great job on SamMobile.com, that do allow us to actually share all these hottest news in the world of Samsung, and obviously special opinionated topics that we can really talk about. And yeah, first episode is recorded. We are editing it. Watch out for it in video form on Sam Mobile TV, on this YouTube channel that we're streaming on, and also on all your favorite podcast platforms. That's been it for me. Hope you're all safe during this time. Have a good one. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Peace.